Women's flat track roller derby is played on a variety of floors and surfaces, including concrete, sport court, and wood. The track layout is 108 feet by 75 feet and is flat and oval. It also includes both outside lane and infield area for officials. You'll notice there are two primary lines across one side of the straightaway on the track. The back line is called the jammer line, and jammers must start each jam behind that line on the track. The other line is called the pivot line, and blockers start the jam anywhere on the track between the jammer line and the pivot line. Once the jam starts, the skaters are allowed to skate forward, pass these lines, and start making contact. But they must stay on the track at all times, if they can help it. Roller derby is played in increments called jams. Each jam lasts up to 2 minutes. Both teams field up to 5 skaters at the start of the jam. 4 of these skaters are called blockers, and 1 is called the jammer. The jammer wears a helmet cover with a star on it and scores points for the team. The blockers are playing both offense and defense at the same time, and together they make up what is called the pack. The 2 jammers start each jam behind the pack and must get through all of these skaters for an initial pass before they can begin to score points. When the initial pass is complete, a jammer can score 1 point for every opponent they pass with their hips. The first jammer out of the pack legally is declared lead jammer, which means they can end the jam anytime they want before the 2 minutes are up. Sounds easy, right? Roller derby is a hard-hitting contact sport played on quad roller skates. The object of the game is simple: score a point for every opponent you pass. But getting there is not so simple. At the beginning of the jam, each team fields a jammer. The jammer is the skater with the star on her helmet, and she is the only one allowed to score points for her team. After the whistle, each jammer must make what's called their initial pass through the pack before they can start scoring points. On each subsequent pass, they can score 1 point for each opposing blocker they pass upright and inbounds on the track. If a jammer completely laps an opposing jammer, she can also earn a point for passing her. Each point is scored by the jammer's hips getting past her opponents, not her skates, requiring speed, agility, and even a little creativity.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes to Derby action. Who's ready for some Derby action? We'd like to inform everybody that over in the corner, we have food, alcohol, hot corned beef sandwiches, hot dogs, you name it, it's there. I've got a menu. They've got t-shirts. We're also has t-shirts in the main lobby. So we're ready to roll in 3 minutes. I'll try it again. Test.
Test.
Testing, testing, testing.
I can be too. I've been
Test.
quieter. Test.
We also are selling shout outs for $1. Shout out your favorite skater, your favorite announcer, your favorite non-skating official. Shout out to anybody. We're taking $1 from anybody. "30 seconds to Derby action. 30 seconds to Derby action. My name is Juicy Gogo, and I am honored to be here with...
I am Lexi Pro. You may have also known as Jackie Knoll in the program. That is my government name on this track and all others. You can call me Lexi Pro or Lexi the Luscious Loudmouth if you are not into the whole brevity thing.
We're going to start with our national anthem. Then we're going to go with the Vixens are going to skate out first. We're going to do announce the teams, and then the Broadbarians. Let's get ready for our national anthem. We're searching for the national anthem. Our singer couldn't be here tonight. yeah, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. We'd like to welcome everybody to Court 1. This is the house that Lansing Roller Derby built. We're going to start out our first game with the Vixens. Number 10 for the Vixens, Lucille Brawl. Number 101, Gadget Goose Berserk. Number 15, Evasive Species. Wearing number 2 tonight, Andy Wardall. Skating for the first time for the Vixens, number 311, Mo Problems. Wearing number 37, Ms. Hyde. Number 55, Dirty Mittens. And the captain for the Vixens, number 57, Toxic Shock. Number 73, Red Rocker. And a long-time skater, but the first time for the Vixens, number 888, Toto Roll.
Okay.
Nice round of applause for the Vixens wearing green.
And skating for the Broadbarians tonight, we have number 12, Foxin' Mad. Number 14, Warhol. Number 1491, Otter Chaos. Number 22, the one, the only, Yarmageddon. Number 24, Shiv Tyler. Number 5, Candence. Number 70, the Kriller Queen. Sounds like Kriller's got some fans in the house. Number 8, Bam Bam Rebel. And number 85, Feral Daryl. And number 89, Social Smacktivist. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the ladies in gray, the Broadbarians.
Woo! All right, who's ready for some roller derby action?
I know, right? Okay, trying to see who's on the jammer line. Okay, so it looks like on the jammer team for the Broads, we got Bam Bam Rebel.
For the Vixens, we got number 37, Ms. Hyde.
We got both jammers approaching the back. Looks like Ms. Hyde gotten all the way. Oh, and she breaks through that wall. Ms. Hyde is going to be your lead jammer. It's like Bam Bam's coming out.
Good work for Miss Hyde, working the middle of that pack, coming up behind.
All right. Oh, mid. Uh-oh. And looks like Ms. Hyde just gets called out on a penalty. This is going to be a power jam.
What do we call it? Power jam.
Yep. Oof.
Ooh, nice move by Bam Bam Rebel.
Yeah.
We got 2 in the box for the Vixens right now.
Yep. Oh, Bam Bam's coming out again, putting 4 more points on the board for the Broadbarians. Up.
Nice quick start for the Broadbarians with an 8-zip lead so far in jam number 1.
Yep, and Miss Hyde looks like coming out of that penalty box, ready to fight. Nice hit there by Yar of the Broadbarians. But it looked...
Ooh, Ms. Highs just takes an inside lap, grabbing 4 points for the Vixens.
And it looks like Bam Bam still trying to edge her way around on the outside. Looks like that didn't quite work. She's back in the middle there.
1 to the box for the Broadbarians.
Bam Bam is out. 4 more points on that board for the Broadbarians. Broadbarians now at 12, Vixens at 4. That's going to be the end of the first jam.
We have an official. Lexi, once in a while, she's dropping things.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty, guys. It's either that or all the lead in the Flint water I've been drinking.
I'm going to go with the water.
I was going to say, is that joke too old yet?
Never been too old. Coming up to jam number 2, out there number 12 is Foxy Mad. We have an official timeout.
Look,
I have a feeling they're going to be looking at the scoreboard because doesn't a jam last 2 minutes?
It last I checked.
Yeah, and it's been how many years?
Oh man, it's been 2.5 years since I last announced Juicy.
And look at that, you jumped right back into it, just like getting right back on that horse, that bicycle.
I know.
So I believe that's what they're talking about. Again, we'd like to remind everybody that we have shirts for sale over there. You name it, LRD is selling it in the lobby there. There's buttons. Oh, I didn't say buttons. I lied. There's stickers, shout-outs. Give a shout-out for $1 to your favorite photographer maybe, because I think we have 3 photographers in-house tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. David Oliver. He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he?
He is. David and I go way back.
Yep, David Lewis and Gary and Ball, thank you very much for taking pictures of all this, but I've seen a lot of David Oliver's work online, and I'm just amazed.
Oh, yeah. So during this timeout, we just want to give a shout-out to Lansing Roller Derby's gold sponsor, Front Room Under Fashions. The best things next to your skin. Whether you're the kind of lady that needs to make a couple of mountains out of molehills, or if you just want to stop that popcorn from falling into your cleavage every time you go to the movies, not that I would know anything about that. Front Room Under Fashions, here to meet all of your memory needs. Check them out at frontroomunderfashions.com.
And now I remember why I like announcing with you. I'm just over here chuckling. I'm like, popcorn, okay, movies. Okay.
Yeah.
While they sort this out, we'd like to remind everybody the Mayfair Bar is also one of our sponsors here at LRD. Yeah, I'm looking for it too. I don't know what I did with it. But that's where our after party is, after the bar. They just put new carpet in the Mayfair Bar so it smells better.
Me either.
Yeah.
And tonight's theme at the Mayfair Bar will be Mad Max. So this might be your first chance to see. Oh, never mind. That whistle means we are back in the Derby action.
So we got Fox and Mad for the Broadbarians going up against, it looks like, number 2, Andy Wardall.
It's like, ooh, look at that. Number 2, she is sliding right out there for the Vixens. Coming in ahead, she is going to be your lead jammer, Andy Wardall.
And that timeout was for a clock fix because we have a nice monitor in front of us.
Yep. Oh, we have a panty pass there from the Broadbarians. That's going to be 24 Oh, never mind. The jam is off. Shiv Tyler took the panty there the last minute for the Broadbarians.
So coming up to jam number 3 here, 12-10. The Broadbarians with a shade under 17 minutes to go. It looks like we have number 10 out there, Lucille Braw for the Vixens.
We got Kriller Queen, number 70, on the jam line for the Broadbarians. Kriller Queen looks like the Vixen pack is giving her a little bit of trouble. Sounds like we got a penalty being called. Yep, that's going to be number 5 from the Broad sitting in the sin bin here.
Got a multiplayer block. There's your lead jammer right there. Number 10, Lucille Braw.
Oh, and
who
Brawl
just
takes
decided to mop the floor up on turn 2. Ooh, donuts. Nobody got a point.
Yep. It's about to say, did somebody say donuts? Where?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I've never met a donut I didn't like.
Neither did I.
And it shows. At least you look good.
Tell that to my boyfriend's kid, giving me a hard time about me and my donuts.
Bam Bam Rebel out there for the Broadbarians going up against
number 9. That's going to be, number 8, Bam Bam Rebel for, the Broadbarians. Did you just say that?
Yep, and Ms. Hyde for the Vixens, and she is the lead jammer at this time. Bam Bam Rebel is hot on her heels.
I was about to say.
Her coach, Lexi, I don't know if you saw, the coach is telling her to call it. She's like, hold on, I'm not done skating.
I've had those moments. Another double donut jam there.
All right. I got 2 again. Andy Wardall again. Oh, a couple of deuces, I think.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, it's got to be 12. Fox and Mad out there for the Broadbarians going up against.
I believe so, Juicy.
Yeah, as I'm asking you instead of looking at my sheet.
And it looks like Fox and Mad for the Broadbarians is going to be your lead jammer.
And she's on a power jam as Andy Wardall went for a forearm.
Yep.
I think the captain's in the box also for the Broadbarians.
She is. But that means the Vixens are at full strength. Oof, and they're going to give Fox and Mad a little bit of trouble there at the turn. Well, let's see. And Fox and Mad manages to come out, put 4 more points on the board for the Broadbarians.
Nice 21-point jam so far. I think the whole bench told her to call it.
I think they did,
I think I was yelling, call it. Nice 20-10 swing there for the Broadbarians.
Well, after Andy Wardall come out of that penalty box, Broadbarians probably didn't want to cut into that nice 13-point lead they have. 13 minutes, let's see, only 8 minutes into the first half of this first jam tonight, first half of this first bout tonight. Juicy, I've really lost it.
Nah, you're doing fine.
I've lost it.
Kriller Queen is out there, number 70 for the Broadbarians, going up against, good work there on number 10, Lucille Braw.
Lucille Braw getting forced to the back of the pack. Kriller Queen is going to be your lead jammer. And it looks like candidates of the Broadbarians just got sent to the penalty box. Oh, we've got another Broadbarian on her way to the box here.
2 in the box, 1 standing for the Broadbarians. Good work there by the Vixens up front. Number 57, Toxic Shock, the captain.
Kriller Queen trying to make her way through that strong green wall there. Ooh, taking a hit off of her own teammate.
Ooh, pile up on turn 1.
Always happens to all of us.
Good work there by number 5, Candence of the Broadbarians, not letting a jammer through.
Oh, and look at that. Very, very hard fought escape there for Kriller Queen. 4 more points on the board for the Broadbarians.
Jammer through for the Vixens.
It's like Lucille Brawl going to take that panty, and Kriller Queen's going to call it.
Coming up to jam. One in the box for the Broadbarians out on the track. Looks like Bam Bam Rebel number 8
and
going
Andy Wardall. Andy Wardall slipping right through that pack, but she's not going to be your lead jammer.
She got quick feet, doesn't she?
Oh, she does. She is tiny and she is fast.
Full allotment of skaters on the track. We call that an all skate.
Yep. Bam Bam's looks like Bam Bam's going to call it off.
Well, we're having a discussion. It's too early to talk about what we're getting. There's 3 points for Bam Bam.
Yep, Broadbarians now at 34. 24-point lead halfway through this first half.
That's right. You're an English teacher, aren't you? Not math wasn't your strong point.
Gotta forgive me when it comes to numbers. I do my best.
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh,
Lucille Brawl is down.
Taking a big hit there right away.
The captain laying some wood out there. Number 12, Fox and Mad out there for Broadbarians. Had to recycle back. Up on her toes. Nope.
Oh, both teams putting up some great defense here.
Look at Yar just lining up the jammer, but inside move by Lucille Brawl on number 10 is your lead jammer.
Fox and Mads finally getting through on that initial pass. Looks like Lucille Brawl got caught there at the turn. Up. Lucille Brawl's going to call it.
She says, I'm done.
It's like the Vixens put 2 points on the board in that jam. That'll bring their score up to 12.
Every point helps.
It sure does.
Andy Wardall out there, number 2. Her mom's not in attendance tonight. She's probably back in Cincinnati.
Oh.
I even made her stand up and wave. Bam Bam Rebel. Bam Bam Rebel, number 8, is out there for the Broadbarians.
And it looks like we've got 2-on-4 out there. 2 of the Broadbarians now in the penalty box. Ooh.
There's your lead jammer right now for the Vixens. A much-needed lead jammer is number 2.
Andy Wardall. And Bam Bam's back out there jamming. Andy Wardall takes a slide to the floor and calls it off.
An aggressive call off as you're falling down.
Well, I heard her coach say it, and as soon as coach said it, Andy Warhol's arms started flying.
So they do listen to their coach.
Why do you sound so surprised, Juicy?
One in the box. Oh, we got a power start here. We were mistaken. Andy Wardahl is in the box.
Yeah, looks like Andy Wardahl must have picked up a penalty there at the end of that last jam.
Timeout by the Broadbarians. They want to discuss something.
Yeah, something.
We'd like to remind people we do have shout-outs. They're $1. You can shout out your favorite skater, your favorite non-skating official. You can shout out our EMT all by yourself. Two games in a row. A game cannot start without EMT here. Look, still in her scrubs, just got out of surgery, ready to go.
You can even shout out yourself if you want to. We don't care. Just give us $1. We'll shout out whoever you want.
And all money raised is for Lansing Roller Derby. LRD is building a strong program here, 4 teams strong. How long they been around?
Oh, Lord. Lansing Roller Derby started out as 2 teams, the Mitten Mavens and the Derby Vixens. I want to say 2010, so 12 years ago. And now in 2022, both teams have merged together as one.
One strong team and some awesome people, too.
One strong team, 2 longtime Rebels burying the hatchet, working together as one.
Yeah, and they're, like I said, great bunch of people, too. So that's really what matters. We'd like to thank our skating officials, Daddy Pants, our 2 DECU, Ringmaster, Stan Keyhole. You know, I know, you know, we know. Bruce Wills and Kicks Rocks. And back to live action, number 70, Kriller Queen for the Broadbarians on a power start, power jam. Power Jam is sponsored from the Front Room Under Fashions, the best things next to your skin.
All right, this penalty box is filling up, emptying out again.
Not what the Vixens needed right now, but out of the box. Oh,
that's the sound of another penalty being called.
Sounds like.
Oh, and it looks like, Andy Wardahl on her way back to the penalty box. Tough break there for the Vixens, Juicy.
The captain, Toxic Shock, just took an amazing hit. Got up smiling like, I can't believe she got by me. Good work there by number 73, Red Rocker. Going to the box is some dirty mittens, and she's going, why? What did I do?
Yep. Looks like Kriller Queen doing her best to get through those Vixens there. Oh, and she does, scooting around on the inside. But what is this? Andy Wardahl back with a vengeance out of that penalty box. Andy Wardahl overtakes Kriller at the turn. Kriller calls it off.
It's pretty funny when your whole team that's on the track is turning around telling her to stop, call it off.
Did you see how Andy Wardahl bust out of that penalty box?
Oh, my God.
Bam!
Shot out of a cannon.
Exactly.
Very quick feet. Here's what I like. The official has explained to Dirty Mittens you did this wrong. And, so you got to love that.
Yeah, it's not just about, it's a learning opportunity.
We learn each day. Like, what's that name?
Oh, wow, look at that. Fox and Mad coming out ahead. She's going to be your lead jammer there for the Broadbarians.
Ms. Hyde is caught up in the back of the pack. They're trying to get through number 37. One skater in a box, 4 evasive species in the box for the Vixens.
And it looks like, and that's right, Fox and Mad's going to put 4 up on the board and call it off.
3:40, a little under 3:40 to go. We got a 30-point lead, 46-16 by the Broadbarians. One in the box for the Vixens. And one in the box, I think.
So it looks like we're going to have a 3-on-3 pack out there to start this jam.
Bam Bam Rebel out there, number 8 for the Broadbarians, going up against number 10, Lucille Brawl.
And Brawl having a tough time getting past those Vixens there in the back of the pack. Oh, sorry, the Broads. Gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, I do that all the time. There's your lead jammer right there. Tiptoed her way around turn number 1. His lead jam is Bam Bam Rebel. I'd like to give a shout out to Kapow's mom in Scotland. She'll be watching this tomorrow. She said she enjoyed watching us via our live stream. Shout out to our live stream.
And looks like, well, this is going to be a power jam for the Broadbarians, Juicy.
Power jam. And they're sponsored by, we're going to say, we're going to go with the front room under fashions, the best things next to your skin.
And Bam Bam just put 4 more points on the board for the Broadbarians. I think that's 8 so far in this jam. Oh, I spoke too soon. Yet another 4 points going on that board for the Broadbarians. Bam Bam's just not slowing it down out there at all.
Oh, I like that work by the Broadbarians where Bam Bam stepped out of bounds, and when she goes back to recycle back, one of her blockers takes out the Vixens, so she can't. That was smart.
Yeah.
Oh, that was astute play.
Heck yeah. All right. And Bam Bam just going around, and looks like we're back at full strength. Miss Hyde back out there wearing the star for the Vixens.
Mo Problems decided I need a little break, so she decided to sit down for a minute.
Oh, looks like in that jam, the Broadbarians increased their lead to 50 points. We just have just under a minute and a half left to go in this first half of this first bout.
And we've got number 12 out there, Fox and Mad, going up against Andy Wardahl. We could call her Happy Feet. Her feet never stop moving. Whoa! So much for that.
Gosh. Fox and Mad must have heard us.
Yeah, she's mad at us.
Yeah. Andy Wardahl having to circle to the back of the pack.
Ow.
There. Andy Wardahl finally breaking out. Meanwhile, Fox and Mad stuck behind a wall of Vixens there.
Warhol decided she wanted a break before halftime.
All right, it looks.
Well, I think so. But 4 seconds left.
I know.
There's our intermission, 69-19, smooth 50-point lead. We'd like to remind everybody, we've got Derby shirts, we've got a drink menu. Heck, for $3 you can get a Coors Light. Mixed drinks are $5. I don't know if I want to.
Oh, we have a timeout. We've just been told by R2DECU this is going to be a timeout. So I guess it's not quite intermission yet.
Nope, but you can still get a drink if you want one.
Exactly.
They have non-alcoholic drinks. Oh, they got lemonade. Lemonade and vodka sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I could just hear us announcing a game after that.
I know, right?
Hot dogs, corn dogs, all kinds of food over there. They got some Derby shirts.
Derby buttons, Derby stickers, everything to satisfy all the desires in your deep, deep little Derby heart. right.
Remember, we're not real sharp. Wow, I'm not. But.
No, I'm not either, like I said.
We're going to pull out one more jam just for kicks. The Vixens are putting Miss Hyde out on the line there, jam line going up against number 70.
That's going to be Kriller Queen.
There he is. Oh, there he is. Here we are, ready to get back to live action.
Yep, looks like the timeout's still in. I spoke too quickly. Timeout is over.
Two skaters out there for the Broadbarians, as this is a good opportunity for the Vixens to make up some ground before halftime. Before we all start drinking.
I know. Oh, he's got to do. All right, Ms. Hyde, will you look at that? Ms. Hyde slices right through that pack. Ms. Hyde's going to be your lead jammer. Looks like Kriller Queen still stuck in the back of the pack there.
They're telling Miss Hyde, oh, look at that inside line.
Oh, look at that. Ms. Hyde slide right past. Oh, no. Oh, that box is filling up with Broadbarians. You called it, Juicy. Great opportunity. The Vixens are closing up that gap.
Love how she goes by the penalty box and gives the Broadbarians some crap as they were all sitting in the penalty box.
Oh, wouldn't you? But
4 more points by Miss Hyde.
I mean, if I was wearing that panty, I would. Oh, and Miss Hyde's
nice.
going to call it.
Would she pull off the 12? What were they?
We're just
16, no, 19. Pulled off 8. Think about that.
I had to think about that, too.
Where were they?
All right, guys, now it's intermission. Broadbarians at 69, Vixens at 27.
The Mitten Mavens are a local roller derby organization, a 501c4 in the East Lansing area. Roller derby is super important in our community and for our culture because it gives women the opportunity to be aggressive and to be strong and to be vocal and to be proud about their bodies no matter what sizes and shapes that they are. Our recruiting process happens all year round. We're an open enrollment organization, which means that people can join at any time throughout the year. However, we do host biannual boot camps, which are the best time for people to join. We run one in the beginning of the winter, so in January, and then we run a second in the summer, usually starting about June. And during those boot camps, we train people who have never skated before. You don't need any experience at all. You can support the Mitten Mavens by coming to our home bouts. That's the best way you can support the Mavens because not only does it grow the awareness of the sport, it grows our fan base, which we love to have as many fans as possible at our home bouts. So you can also get involved with this league by joining as a non-skating official or a referee or a volunteer. You can check us out at www.eastlansingrollerderby.com.
starting SALUS Center really stemmed from like a personal inability, to be able to show up in my fullest self, with all of my identities intact in different spaces. I give the example often of being Black and trans and queer and like a person who is a religious leader in the community.
Accessibility is a key piece of my commitment to SALUS Center.
Those identities often cannot exist at the same time pretty much anywhere in society, and so SALUS Center really is the first place where I can be Black and queer and a clergy person. This for me is like a full expression of my identities as well as my faith, and inviting people to do the same, even if, and especially if, their faith is not the same as mine or their identities don't match mine. So the word salus, that's a Latin word, which means wholeness and well-being. I definitely chose that word, because it's really at the core of what I'm hoping to kind of cultivate here is like people who can be all of who they are, not have to partition themselves just to survive or exist in society. So a big part of what we do, is like to be able to create a space for people to be who they are in their fullest, so no matter what their identities, they can be here and just relax. Our mission is to be in the community, to kind of help organizations maybe that aren't specifically LGBTQ focused, but to kind of help shift culture so that we don't have to diminish who we are just so we can show up in the world, So I'm really trying to make this a space that is for the community, by the community, and so far that's been kind of happening in these last 2 years that we've been open. One of my favorite examples is, the queer choir. It was a group of folk who wanted to sing and like bring their voices together. And I love, even just like the vast identities of the people who show up, around gender, sexuality, race as well, age, abilities. I think that's part of the beauty of this life that we have is the fact that we're not all the same, and not to fear the fact that we're not the same, but really try to lean into how that actually is a strength that we're not the same. Embrace and celebrate the places where we are different, bringing about wholeness and freedom for all people. Really to try to do it in a way that, we're able to decrease harm and increase accessibility for folks to find resources, like in the short term and in the long term. I often have to remind myself it's just been 2 years. We've come a long way, and community coming together and having a vast array of different kinds of support, whether those are financial support or like support with time and energy, all of that is welcome. Really like kind of taking this image of, it takes a village to raise a child, so I'm inviting the village, to help tend to this 2-year-old child of SALUS Center and really trying to like grow it into adolescence and adulthood. I think that would be a really great way to do that, with this community here in Lansing.
The Mitten Mavens are a local roller derby organization, a 501c4 in the East Lansing area. Roller derby is super important in our community and for our culture because it gives women the opportunity to be aggressive and to be strong and to be vocal and to be proud about their bodies no matter what sizes and shapes that they are. Our recruiting process happens all year round. We're an open enrollment organization, which means that people can join at any time throughout the year. However, we do host biannual boot camps, which are the best time for people to join. We run one in the beginning of the winter, so in January, and then we run a second in the summer, usually starting about June. And during those boot camps, we train people who have never skated before. You don't need any experience at all. You can support the Mitten Mavens by coming to our home bouts. That's the best way you can support the Mavens because not only does it grow the awareness of the sport, it grows our fan base, which we love to have as many fans as possible at our home bouts. So you can also get involved with this league by joining as a non-skating official or a referee or a volunteer. You can check us out at www.eastlansingrollerderby.com.
Ms. Hyde, number 37 in green.
Yeah, it's going to be number 8, Bam Bam Rebel, back out there for the Broadbarians.
Or Barbarians.
Barbarians.
Look at the scoreboard.
Whoa.
That's some points being scored. No lead jammer at this.
Nice
Ms.
hit
Hyde
there from Miss Hyde.
is your lead jammer, number 37.
Vixens doing their best to put the stop on Bam Bam, but she breaks through.
Oh, look at our monitor, Lexi. They now have jams in there, and they have lead jammers, so that's pretty cool for us.
It looks like the Vixens put 2 points on the scoreboard with that jam. Broadbarians still at 69, so now it's a 40-point lead for the Broadbarians.
Coming up to jam number 2, it looks like Andy Wardall, number 2.
And I believe that is Fox and Mad on the jam line for the Broadbarians.
Yeah, she had a great jam last time, and let's see if she can continue it.
Yeah, she might have one this time, Juicy. She got through that pack pretty quick to be a lead jammer.
We got one in the box
Well,
for each
would
team.
you look at that? Barely got touched there on her initial pass. That's going to be Warhol.
Oh, what a sweet inside move. I think she stole some points, Lexi.
I think she did too. She's got 4. It's like the Vixens started this half determined to cut down on that Broadbarians lead. Oh, looks like that we got a little friendly jammer on jammer boot bump there at the jam line.
Lucille Brawl, number 10, out there for the Vixens.
And that looks like, oh Christ, who is it? Yeah.
Kriller Queen out there for the Broadbarians.
I think that's looks like her. Oh my gosh, Kriller Queen sneaking through on the inside to become lead jammer. Lucille Brawl stuck in the back of the pack. Yar's gonna try to force her to the back. Oh, that's gonna be a track cut called on Lucille Brawl. This is gonna be a power jam for the Broadbarians.
Power jam. Look at that good work by number 15.
Oh, that's going to be your lead. Looks like Kriller Queen's going to be your lead jammer. Oh, we got a penalty box filling back up again. Looks like we've got a 3-on-2 pack out there. And from the looks of things,
Good work by Toxic Shock there, not letting the jammer through.
I was going to say, those 2 Vixens out there, looks like doing a great job holding Kriller Queen back on her second pass.
Lucille Brawl trying to get through a 3-wall there. Has not made it. Oh, nice work there by number 22.
Yar's going to force Brawl to the back of the pack there.
Yarmageddon is just having a great game so
Oh.
far.
That was Toxic Shock takes a big hit there to the middle. Yar's like, what'd I do?
Captain goes to the box.
It looks like we got a panty pass there from the Vixens.
Toxic Shock, number 57, had the star. Just to let people know, you can only pass the star off to your blocker. You just can't arbitrarily say, hey, you look like you'd be a good jammer.
Pivot? You mean pivot?
Pivot, yeah. I did say blocker, didn't I?
Well,
Thank
the
you.
pivot is a blocker. They just happen to be wearing a stripe on their head.
Bam Bam Rebel out there. Our 2 deck U's like giving me crap now. Bam Bam Rebels out there going up against number 2, Andy Wardall.
Oh, look at that. Ragdoll is going to be your lead jammer there for the Vixens.
Andy Wardall's their lead jammer. Much needed points by the Vixens, going outside. Full head of steam.
Oh! Takes a fall there and calls it.
What do you think, 3? I'm guessing. Oh!
Whoa!
I guessed right.
Looks like, well, how about that?
Yeah.
So busy looking at Ragdoll, I didn't see the Broadbarians put 3, looks like 3 points up on the board.
The Vixens grabbed 4, wow. Yeah. Coming up to jam number 5 with 14:30 to go. Number 12, Fox and Mad, is out there on a power start.
It looks like Andy Wardall picked up a penalty there at the end of that last jam.
Power start, power jam, brought to you by, the Front Room Under Fashions.
And Fox and Mad's going to be out there jamming for the Broadbarians. Looks like Fox and Mad took a hit to the outside, and Fox and Mad is getting called out on a track cut. This means that Andy Wardall will be released from the penalty box. Fox and Mad will serve the same amount of time Andy Warhol did. Nice. And Warhol comes out with a vengeance. But
has to make her initial pass.
She's going to be your lead jammer.
Tries the outside on turn 3,
and
but
takes
just
a tumble.
Doesn't make it. Close.
And Fox and Mad out of that box. That's a no pass, no penalty signal there from Kicks Rocks you're seeing. And taking the advice of the coach on the turn, Andy calls it off.
It's great having our clocks back with us. Now we see how many jams, how many points each jammer gets on that.
Looks like that was 2 points for each team. Broadbarians now at 84. Derby Vixens at 42. That'll be a 42-point lead for the Broadbarians.
Number 10 is out there, Lucille Braw for the Vixens.
And that's going to be number 70, Kriller Queen for the Broadbarians.
Trying to make her way through that nice 3-wall. Tiptoes around.
No pack is called. Oof. Spoke too soon.
Evasive Species put a nice hit on the jammer.
And Kriller Queen's going to get lead, and then she's going to call it. Double donut jam there.
Donut.
When your lead and the other team's jammer overtakes you, sometimes that's the best you can do. Just prevent them from getting points. I'll remember any reference that involves a donut.
We love donuts. Yeah. Bam Bam Rebel out there, number 8 for the Broadbarians, going up against Ms. Hyde. Whoa!
Whoa, did you see that? Coming around on the outside. Bam Bam's going to be your lead jammer.
I got a pile up on the back of the jam here for some reason. Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Calls it off on turn 2 before she stole 4 points. Good hustle by Bam Bam Rebel to get around on the outside. Call it off. We have no shout-outs yet. We need shout-outs. $1 for a shout-out. That's all it costs. Come on, shout somebody out.
Isn't your name being called out over a microphone worth $1?
Plus over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheesh, Louise. Andy Wardall with a zig and a zag.
I know. I want my name on the internet somewhere besides the police record.
Again.
I know. All right, Andy Wardall's going to be your lead jammer, but will you look at that? Fox and Mad not that far behind.
Little jammer on jammer action coming up to the back. Oh, Andy Wardall. Oh, look at that move.
Look at that. That's going to be 4 points for the Broadbarians. Looks like Andy Wardall still stuck in that pack. Andy Wardall looks like going for the call-off as she's fallen to the floor.
Nice knockout there by number 5, Candence.
I thought for sure we were going to see another double donut jam on that, but
Kriller Queen, number 70, is out there for the Broadbarians.
Broadbarians only 7 points away from the century mark.
Which is an all drink. Once you hit 100, everybody has to drink.
That's right.
Ties, anything, lead changes?
You drink, that's right.
I remember those calls.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
Lucille Brawl out there, number 10 for the
And we
Vixens,
got
but it doesn't matter. Kriller Queen takes over lead jam on jam number 9. Lucille Brawl having a tough time in the back of the pack. We got a fanny pass going off to number 57, which is the captain, Toxic Shock.
Oh, looks like Toxic Shock's got that panty in her hand. She is not jammer till it goes on her head, and look at that. Kriller Queen calls it off before Toxic Shock can reach the pack.
8:40 left, 97-44. Time for the Vixens to turn it up. Need to close this in a little bit. Let's see what Andy Wardall can do. Number 2 is out there jamming, going up against Bam Bam Rebel, number 8 for the Broadbarians. We'd like to remind everybody we're going to the Mayfair Bar after this. 1585 Lake Lansing Road, beautiful Hazlitt. Come check out that new carpet.
Oh, look at that. Andy Wardall trying to scoot through on the inside. She's going to get stopped there by Yarmageddon. Has to go to the back. Oof.
We'd like to remind everybody we're going to have MVPs after this game. Thank goodness we don't have to call them.
I know.
There's
right?
oh no, Bam Bam Rebel going to the box for a forearm.
This is going to be a power jam for the Vixens.
Just have to get through that.
Almost out.
I thought those ballerina lessons paid off when she was younger, but she did fall out of bounds. She always had that problem when she was younger, staying up on her toes also.
I can relate to that.
One more going to the box for the Broadbarians. So good opportunity here for Andy with 2 E's. There we go.
Okay, Andy finally out of that pack. She's going to be lead jammer. It looks like the Broadbarians were able to stall Andy just long enough for Bam Bam to come out of that penalty box.
Andy just flies around this track with reckless abandonment. It's like, excuse me. Oh, she's got 2 points on that. 2's better than 1, 1's better than none.
That's right. Derby Vixens now at 46, Broadbarians at 97.
Kriller, oh, I'm wrong. Number 12 is out there, Fox and Mad. Oh,
that looks like
time out.
It looks like a team time out there.
So again, we'd like to remind everybody, if you have any questions about roller derby, feel free to ask anybody around here. We're all very helpful. Some are more knowledgeable. Oh, our next game, I forgot that, is June 25th here, of course.
Yep.
So
championship game and the consolation
it's a hard word, isn't it, sometimes?
You know, once it's over 2 syllables, I don't stand a chance.
And it's, again, if you can't make it out to the game, you can sit in the Mayfair Bar and watch us streaming live on YouTube TV. We'd like to thank, everything that, oh, crap, Devin's drinking over there, so he's lost concentration. Shit. Our IT guy's all happy. He's all smiles.
We also want to thank one of our team sponsors tonight, LansingUrgentCare.com.
We're getting ready to get back to live action with 6:50 to play in game 1. We will have MVPs after this game. Wow, I could say P a little bit more. After this game, right now, we're back to live action.
We are back to action. We have number 12, Fox and Mad out there wearing the star for the Broadbarians. And what is this? Fox and Mad's going to go out on a penalty. This could be a power jam for the Vixens. Ms. Hyde's going to be your lead jammer.
Fox and Mad finally clears the pack. What do we got? 1 in the box, 2 in the box for the Vixens, 1 in the box for the Broadbarians.
Ms. Hyde's going to call it.
She's like, you know, that pack's a long ways away from me, and
Yeah,
I already got 4 points. I'm good.
that's right. Just chipping away at that Broadbarians lead. Derby Vixens now at the half-century mark. Broadbarians still at 97.
I think we could turn a half-century mark into an all-drink also.
We could, you know,
Yeah.
but we have just under 6 minutes to go, and the Vixens have held the Broadbarians at 97 for what, last 3 jams?
Yep, last 3 jams. Kriller Queen out there for the Broadbarians going up against Lucille Braw. I think we're going to be spoiled from now on with this monitor in front of us.
Oh, I know I am. It's so convenient.
Good work by the 3-wall there, the Broadbarians, not letting Lucille Braw. And the minute I speak, she gets through.
Derby happens so fast, it's impossible to call it precisely as it's happening. Those guys that announce at the WUFTA tournaments probably can. An amateur like me, not so much.
You're card carrying, aren't you?
I am not. I never have gotten certified. Oh, that's going to be 4 points on the board for the Vixens.
Much needed 4 points, so good work. See what we can do coming into the back of the pack for Lucille Brawl.
Kriller Queen, not going to be your lead jammer. Oh, and it looks like, I know, looks like the Vixens are going to hold the Broadbarians scoreless for 1 more jam.
That's how you get back into this. 4:39 left. Plenty, as we know, plenty of time left in Derby.
That's right.
Bam Bam Rebel, number 8, out there for the Broadbarians, going up against Mrs. Hyde. We got a little dance-off going.
Both teams entering this jam at full strength.
Ooh, what do we used to call that? All skate. All skate.
That's right, all skate.
I'm old enough to remember it.
I just think of that, funk song from the 70s. Oh, looks like that was just a little too bit good of a block. That's going to send a Barbarian to the box. But it was good enough to hold. Wait a minute. Looks like this is going to be a power jam for the Vixens. Looks like Bam Bam. I believe that was an elbow penalty. Elbow or forearm. Oh, Miss Hyde.
We both just went, woo!
Yeah, Miss Hyde going through that pack like a wrecking ball. Going to put 4 more points on that board for the Vixens.
On a power jam.
Miss Hyde's going to scoot to the outside, then to the inside. Going to pick up 4 more points for the Vixens.
Much needed points, too, so as they're pulling this closer. Again, they're holding the Broadbarians for, I think this might be the 5th jam, 4th or 5th jam.
Yeah, it
Miss
is.
Hyde coming up to the back of the pack. Saw Bam Bam get free and said, I'm out.
That's right. It's like as this bout winds to a close, it looks like the Vixens are determined to keep the Broadbarians from reaching that century mark.
Yeah, they've cut this. They're on a 30-point lead right now with 2:30 to go.
But remember, we started this half with a 50-point lead for the Broadbarians.
Good for them. Good team. They had a good halftime talk.
Oh, they did.
1 in the box. One in the box for the Broadbarians.
It looks like the Vixens doing a nice job holding Fox and Mad back. Oh, I lied. Fox and Mad's going to be your lead jammer. We've got Andy Wardall back out there for the Vixens.
Here's the time for the Broadbarians to score some points after a 5-time shutout. Going into turn 1, tries the middle of the pack. Nothing going there. Good work by number 15, Evasive Species. Number 101 doing a great job, Gadget.
Yeah, I believe Andy Wardall still trying to get through on her initial pass. 4 points there for the Broadbarians. Oh, and Broadbarians have just passed the century mark.
All drink. I got a water.
I got a Diet Coke.
I got to drive later.
Makes two of us. 4 more points on that board for the Broadbarians, brought to you by Fox and Mad, breaking that 5-jam scoreless streak. It looks like we got a panty pass from the Vixens just as the jam is called off.
Kriller Queen number 70 is coming out there to jam for the Broadbarians with a little over a minute to go. 105-67 in game number 1. What do we got?
It's going to be
Lucille Brawl.
Yep. Sorry. That's okay.
Yeah, we haven't talked over each other. We're doing pretty good.
It's starting to come back to me. And looks like Lucille Brawl's going to take a tumble there in the middle of the pack. But Kriller Queen's going to come out. She's going to be your lead jammer.
Jam number 15 and Kriller Queen is in control, just like the Broadbarians at this time. So what they needed was a lead jam with possibly the last jam.
Oh, Miss Hyde almost kept her out of that pack. Kriller Queen's going to come around, pick up 4 more points there for the Broadbarians.
Getting coaching from their coaches over there saying, keep it going.
Oh, Kriller coming back out to a burst of applause. 4 more points for the Broadbarians. We got another panty pass there from the Vixens.
Toxic Shock's like, come on, man, I want to get some points.
Oh. And the Broadbarians going to call the jam off.
Go ahead.
And that's going to be our first bout tonight. Okay. So our unofficial final score, Vixens 67, Broadbarians 115. Great job, both teams.